3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to episode 162 of Ruse Radio. We are back in the Ruse stew again for a 420 Easter edition of Ruse Radio. We've got a very special guest. I met this man just recently at the Struggle Bus open mic at the Glenwood. This man razzed me with his rhymes. He came in with the times. He showed me the direction of the winds. He spit on stage, and his name is
Levi Stress World Ruse Radio. This is Levi Stress. I just want to say happy 420/Easter, and we're going to entertain y'all because that's what we're going to do. You know, we're going to talk about this new record I dropped early this morning on 420. So, you know, hey, just stay tuned because you're going to be entertained. I guarantee you that, brother. You bet your bottom dollar you're going to be entertained around this piece, buddy boy.
You're about to be real entertained, buddy boy. You heard what he said.
Yeah.
I mean, Levi Stress, you just dropped a tape. Like, you're introducing yourself to the people. How would you describe your music? Like, what would you even say? If you're
I am boom bap hip hop. Can get experimental. Also, pretty much just ahead of just the true school that method that cats that we do that that we do that we know that we grew up with that we love, so we're not trying to put no new spin on shit. Shit gets a new spin, it does, but I mean, we just doing what we came up on. So we doing what we came up on, and inspire a generation to like that. If they don't want to, if that's not their cup of tea, but they can be still creative to come up with their own concept.
Do you think old school hip hop is gonna have like a revival period? Like, do you feel like there's gonna be a point in time where people kind of get like they want that kind of rap more? Because I feel like it is like an old school mentality to actually be like an MC and rap.
Oh yeah. Because now it's a difference in just how things are. Like you're talking about 80s and the 90s and even early 2000s. So you're looking at a number of years from when that was occurring on a commercial level. But like that. But because sometimes evolution, evolving is good, but sometimes it's not either. But you have to be able. I think when you evolve, still take some of your methods that happened in the earlier stages to go with your within your modern times. That's what Cass is looking for. Cass when I got Cass from that era, it just wants to just have it to where it's equal within your modern, but mix, but have that element in there too as well. You have someone of authentic into your new wave. So that's pretty much what Cass be talking about.
You like blend them?
Yeah, blend it up. Blend, or even you show homage, or even blend. You can show homage and still blend, but then just be able to just instead of just doing the yeah, ooh, Gucci gang. I ain't trying this with no shade or nothing, but just like instead of doing that, see if you can rhyme over some 808s or some boom bap drums, or some Premier drums, some Pete Rock drums. Let's see if you could do that. If you see what a lot of cats. Some cats be like beats or whatever. Some cats will be like, I can't write to this, or I can't. It's like or they have. It's more challenging for them to write to those beats than it would be like a new producer beats like now, like
a trap beat,
a trap beat, because that's what that's what the knowledge and the history sometimes got derailed there, because you should be able to do that. Cause that was the original origin. So you can't do the original origins of what you're doing, then that means you missed out somewhere. You lost. There's a lost gap there within your music knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Rap's kind of like gotten away from itself a little bit in a way.
Rap is out of control,
because like if you look at the origins of rap, like that's kind of what it always has been, is like it's supposed to be just rap over like some nice drums, like an 808, like just a kind of looping kind of rhythm, like a simple thing. It wasn't really that complicated at first. And then like throughout the 90s it was like kind of consistent. Even the early 2000s it was kind of consistent. And then like 2010, 2015, I think like right around like the 2005, 2010 is where you started having like rappers go on pop songs and all of this. Like Lil Wayne was on everything.
You start hearing mumbling and all that, and all that.
SoundCloud changed a lot.
Yeah, that's why they call them the SoundCloud mumble rappers. That's why these cats got a name like that.
X came from SoundCloud. XXXTentacion. I think who's the other big rapper from right around that same time? Juice WRLD. I think he was also SoundCloud.
Juice WRLD's pretty dope though.
Yeah,
he's
I think they both were like musically very talented.
Yeah, exactly.
X's albums were like crazy creative. I mean, he had some very popular songs. Okay. So like, but X did songs that weren't even rap. Like he did stuff that was all kinds of things.
Exactly. Exactly. But that's just like how that's where you come in with. That's where the Post Malones and those guys of the world come into the world.
And it's kind of like what you're saying about like blending it.
Yeah,
they're blending it in this cool new way.
Yeah, exactly, blending it. Like
Post Malone will just do like country songs.
Yeah, he guys just do everything. Yeah, this is like it's like the kids. These cats called Coast Contra dope. The Coast Contra, they're dope.
I know them.
Yeah, they're. I like those cats.
Ciphers on YouTube.
I like those guys. Yeah, two of the rappers in their group, Ras Kass is their father. He's got two sons that's in that group. So I was like, it's fired.
You know their father? You're saying?
I don't know their father. I'm just saying.
Who's it?
Two of the cats that's in the crew are Ras Kass is their dad.
Who's Ras Kass?
Ras Kass is a West Coast rapper from the 90s and 2000, even more prominent. But his record's So Nice and Nature of the Threat. Listen to that song. He breaks down the whole paradigm of the pyramid scheme and what and basically history. The history of blacks that have been in this country. So but So Nice. Also, he's got a song on there called Miami Life. It's just a classic record. Oh,
okay.
So you check. You gotta check that man out. If you haven't heard of him, check him out.
Ras Kass.
See artists in California, West Coast.
He could start a podcast and call it Razcast. Razcast. That's a good one. Razcast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like a letter.
Exactly. Razzie, or he just call it Razzie.
Razzie. Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like if he had an award show, he'd call them the Razzies.
Yeah, Razzie. Yeah, just call him Razzie.
Give out a bunch of Razzies to people.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
What's your
Raz for you?
Because I mean, your tape that just came out, it's very like you have a concept that's a whole arch, that's like a whole story throughout.
Exactly.
So I was like, what's your writing process like for something like that?
Writing process for something like that. Well, if you're gonna like this record, 420. Not 420. I dropped on 420, but Brink of Insanity. I just pretty much had a concept of it was an MC. He starts off and then he just goes through a little situation and he ends up in a mental hospital. But then I have a song on there called Code Red. I talk about from when I get into the hospital from when I'm there. Then I talk about patients' rights where a situation happened with a patient and a staff member and I broke it down. I broke down that whole situation with that patient's rights. Then when I saw that situation, that's when I did Code Red. Code Red is when I escaped from the hospital. So it's like I escape from the hospital, then I get back with amongst my peoples doing my music and stuff like that. So it was just like a kind of a minor breakdown. But then once I saw what the reality of me of being in the in a situation like that, I got out of it. That's why I did the Code Red. So Code Red is the breaking of me getting out that hospital, getting back, trying to get back into reality. But then I have a song called Recover. But then I mentioned Recover, on two of the other songs when I'm away from that state, that mental state, and I'm talking about that's the song Cannabis Days, and I got another one on there called Cinematic Tactics. But that's just more of me. That's just me talking about Cannabis Days, obviously about weed and all that and whatever. We know about that. But cinematic is just basically me just flipping bars and shit over a nice brother tone beat. So. But it's just getting back into more of the game of the mindset when I was in before. I got, I guess somewhat forcefully admitted, but but that's it. That's pretty much the opus of that record and the main mind thought of that record.
What you just heard is a man lay out a whole concept album for you, and that takes a certain vision. It takes a certain expertise, a certain amount of understanding of a craft to be able to execute upon such an idea, because you need to know the ins and outs about how to translate the vision inside of your head into whatever framework it is that you're putting it through. And Levi here is a rapper. He's putting it in an album. And I think that once you find a way to transcend above that art form and get people to think outside the box, you kind of blow their minds a little bit. And you do that a bunch of times, you become a professional mind blower. We love our professional mind blowers up in here, and I think you're a professional mind blower too. We're talking about mediums. We're talking about communicating. You got to figure out your best medium of communication. There's something that you're amazing at that you'll blow minds with. The question is what? We all got something. And I love my professional mind blowers, all right? You want to get yourself in that mind blower mindset? You get one of these t-shirts. We got smalls, we got mediums, we got larges, $25 that is shipping included, and it's a great way for you to support this show. Now, say you want to support this show, but you don't want a t-shirt. Well, don't you worry. We got you covered. There's this little thing called Patreon. That's right. $5 a month. The price of a coffee, the price of a beer at the bar, and you let us know that you love this show and you want this show to grow. I'm talking we can get bigger, better guests up in this room, guests that we've never seen before, people that will blow my mind, that'll blow your mind. They'll blow minds digitally, through cameras, through microphones. Amazing that all this is possible. It's like magic. We're in the future. 1, we've got exclusive podcast content on that Patreon. 2, we've got exclusive music that you're not going to hear anywhere else. It's only going to be there. And 3, last but not least, you hear my songs early. You hear them before anyone hears them anywhere else. You get an exclusive sneak peek into the latest Ruse Fire Fest coming to the sound streams. Also, how could I not share this information with you? We've got shows coming up June 7th. You can catch me live at Wow, You're Actually Funny, Surge Billiards at 7 p.m. All right, we're going to be in the back of Surge Billiards, a pool hall. It's put together by Marcos Sereno, featured on the last episode of Ruse Radio. We love him, friend of the show, and he is putting me on. I'm going to be rapping. I'm going to be blowing some people's minds up there at Surge Billiards. So be there, have your mind blown at 7 p.m. If you can't be there, maybe you could catch me that night at midnight at Struggle Bus Presents Sands of the Hour X Ruse. That's right, Sands of the Hour, featuring the Levi Stress, the man in this episode. You're going to catch both of us live rapping amazing hip-hop bars in the alley right next to the Glenwood. You can catch us outside. Literally, it's going to be an awesome time. It's going to be some raw hip-hop at 12 at night. Finally, you can catch Ruse return to Roast Battle at Zany's 9 p.m. on June 19th. Ruse is coming for everybody. Ruse is roasting everybody. He's going to destroy these comedian souls. He's going to be rapping, he's going to be roasting, he's going to be destroying everyone that comes within his path. You got to see it to believe it. June 19th at Zany's. We love Roast Battle. We love what they're doing, having comedians come up with original material that's only there existing in that moment, some ephemeral content for you comedy fans, and also they're putting those comedians on in front of an audience at Zany's, and that's awesome. We love that, and we got to support it. We got to shout it out. Roast Battle's doing amazing things. Catch it live June 19th and see what I'm talking about. Okay, with all that being said, let's hear a little bit more about Levi's amazing new project, Brink of Insanity. Were you like, how'd you pick the beats for the storytelling songs then? Like,
well, the beats a lot of them was No Apex did majority of the production on it. Weird Al Bankovich and Brother Tone did 3 beats, but pretty much was with the process with No Apex was pretty much he just how the whole situation with me and him got linked up was that he sent me a message on Facebook messaged me about doing some work, and then I was like, so he threw me a beat. And then I think I was the Going Crazy beat or one of those beats, and I said, well, I'm trying to work on a project. Let's just see how it goes. He was like, he heard the Going Crazy song, and he was like, okay, all right, well, how about another one? Then he did a song with that one. That one was dope. I think it was going out of my head or one of them songs, and that was sick. So then it was like, okay, so get some more beats, it was like just kind of just throwing beats, and that's kind of how he got on that project. And then I had 3 tracks with Brother Tone that I was like saying, fuck it, well shit, well we did one at my crew member's house out in the View out there, Artie Slaw and shit at his home studio, and it was like, okay, that one's dope. So I said, well, shoot, let me just keep that. I picked the beat out for that one. Then Code Red was the one I was telling you about, the escape of the hospital. So I did that with Slaw out there at his home studio. And then Cinematic was done in Nashville, Tennessee. I did that with the homie Eliminate. He recorded and engineered that session. So all of the songs was just picked, like, then with the ones with Weird Al Bankovich, Going Crazy was picked, then Out of My Head was picked, then Recovery was picked too. So like, just kind of where I was writing it at the time on that record, and what track I felt would go best with that story or that concept. That's how I did that. Yeah.
Was it hard to write that way, or was it easier?
That's normally how I do shit. When I do my how my pen works like that. That's not how the pen works.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like it's easier to write something when you have like it schemed out in a kind of way. Like
Right.
like it's just easier to like put it all together because you already kind of know. Like one thing I used to do when I was in high school is like if there was like a speech you'd have to give or something like that, I would like put it all in bullet points, and then I would turn the speech into a rap and do that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There's one of the best raps I've ever written was like the videos on. I just put it up on like Instagram and YouTube and all that. Like it was uploaded by the people who ran the organization, but it's a thing called TeenQuest. So it's like an after school job training program where everybody, like a bunch of kids, can go to it at whatever district they're at, and then you get to learn. Can you go lay down, Oscar? Can you relax, buddy? He's flipping out over here. He's like, can you guys notice me? The cat took my spot over there.
I need my attention, bro. You're not giving me enough attention.
This is his problem, exactly. This is what he's got going on in his mind. He's like,
I don't have enough attention right now.
Why does he keep bringing these people in here and not looking at me and looking at them?
I'm the star of this show, buddy. What are you talking about?
But anyway, it was a job training program, right? And so you go into it and you get to learn all about how to get really good at wherever you're working, to become a good employee, to have a good job etiquette, to have good
it's
leadership
kind of like
skills.
vocational job training courses and stuff. Okay, I got you.
And it's supposed to it's a pre-employment thing, but at the very, very end, you write a speech, right?
Okay.
And it was like they introduced it like out of nowhere, like one time on the Monday, and the speech was supposed to be done by the Friday. So I'm thinking of that, like, oh, this is like a challenge. Like, this is exactly. So I like put bullet points on like everything I was gonna have to say throughout the speech, because there was a bunch of requirements. Like you have to list all these different things, like all these different skills.
Got you.
You have to say all the things you learn. You have to mention your instructors. You have to, and like all the skills are like there was a list of like the different rules that you learned. So rule 1 was this. Rule 2 was this. Rule 3 was this. Like. But like, And I had to write it within like 3 or 4 days.
Oh shit.
But it's like, since I recently watched it, I can remember. And again, I'm like 16 when I wrote this.
Okay.
The quest is done, but the journey's just begun. It was fun here. Clearly, I wasn't under the gun, but I'm really ready now. See, I can't ask Siri how to be the one to make my employer revere me.
Oh.
What is TeenQuest? A program that can deploy me to be the best employee I can be. Not noisy or coy, but with poise. His choice is delicate, and you can't forget the business etiquette. It's the presentment of you, your tone of voice. Your mood ought not be rude if you want to be employed. Got to be professional, keep it exceptional, respectable, and they'll see that you are a professional. Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, I'm going to lose it right there.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's wild how you just offered that combo and you just did, but you did that when you was talking about your work that you did, and then you flipped it like that. So yeah,
something professionally sensible, and that's incredible to me. Props to Miss Sanyadi. Before in an interview, I with a bomb bigger than Nagasaki. Now watch me. Drop the bomb. Now watch me. I'm the bomb. All the scream kamikaze, because I'm coming from out of nowhere on the job scene positively. Blame it on my PMA, my positive mental attitude that'll be innate in the workplace, plus the way I communicate can demonstrate my thoughts. Great, that's objective 8. And next was 9, accept and change. It's expected that nothing ever stays the same. And if you can't overcome and cope, you can't take the weight of a workspace and keep up with the pace. Initiative isn't given, you gotta take it and make it a mission to exceed expectations. Place it beneath you to only do what you're told. Break free from the mode, be bold and make a statement you won't achieve if you only dream. Set a goal and chase it. Your fate won't change if you don't take rain. You'll go insane if you rely and hope to succeed and just dream. Give that dream some affirmation. I have to give thanks to the application preparation. Can't wait to applicate it and get admiration. Also, the evolution of my conflict resolution has been nothing but improvement since I was a student of this program. That's character development. To be honest, man, I just joined this for the heck of it. With all due respect, I wasn't expecting this, but this a testimony. I'm a TeenQuest testament to show that you can grow by paying attention to the lessons presented in it. Like interview questions on the second day we did first impressions. My first impression was that this could work with work, and it worked. Work harder, don't work, which is the perfect segue into this next segment. I have 2 questions from a site. The answers are drilled right into their minds, and so it won't be hard to find. And so this was like something I had to set up because it's like you had to there's like a chant that everybody had at the different schools, so like you would each chant a different thing. Like the leader would say something, you would say something. Okay. So it was like, who are we? The new generation. Who are we? The new generation. What is our motto? Work harder, don't work. What is our motto? Work harder, don't work. And then like I come back and right at the very end, I have to thank Mr. Hatcher for being a master at his craft and making this great class of best. Not only that, but Karen Rhodes also. They both made this all so awesome. So thanks from us all. I also gotta thank who made this all Retta Hunyadi, because she's the reason I see a job for me. See, the quest is over, but only one goes been won. So the quest is done, but the journey's just begun. Oh, dude. The people go wild.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's sick. That's sick.
But it was,
sick.
and like, everything I said I had to say, because it was all like part of the scheme of like the speech. It was all the things I had to include. So it actually kind of made it easier, because it's like all I have to do is flow and say all these things.
Got you.
I don't even have to really think about what I have to say. Like if I went to there's this open mic called Power Hour. Okay. It's like a comedy open mic, but they let you freestyle there. There's like a band, right?
Okay.
And so what I do is I write down everything all the comics are saying, and then like when I freestyle, I just say everything that they said in the freestyle.
That's dope.
They love it.
That's that. Yeah, that's the improv of like, you know, when you do a show and like you like, you know, hey, the MC would be like, hey, you know, cats in the crowd, hey, you know, hey, what you got any items you can throw up, and then, you know, you start rapping about the item they throw up, like your wallet, keys, you know, talk about they might throw up a bottle.
You seen Harry Mack before?
Like yeah.
He's like become a god at that.
Yeah.
Rapping for like actors now. He's on talk shows. It's crazy.
Yeah, Harry's nice with it.
I remember when he was like his first like big viral moments when he was rapping with, I think it was Kendrick Lamar and then Pusha T, I think was one of them.
Yeah, I think it was. I know the Kendrick one. I don't know about the Pusha T one. I saw the video with the Kendrick one.
Yeah, I think because it was 2 big rappers, and like
Ice
Maybe
Cube.
Lil Wayne.
It was Ice Cube.
Was Ice Cube one
it
of
was
them?
Ice Cube. That's what it was. He rapped for Cube before.
And he's been freestyling forever.
Yeah.
you seen like his like 5, 6 hour, 7 hour live streams when he freestyles? He's like so good at it.
Yeah.
It's I've seen him do things that I couldn't even imagine people doing while freestyling. Like he's that good. Where it's like I've seen people like the Twitch comments will say like, okay, rap backwards, and then he'll rap backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like I think when you freestyle that much, like the improv thing, it just becomes a reflex.
Yeah.
You know?
It does become a reflex.
If freestyling's different than writing. I mean, I think writing is freestyling that you can capture. I think that's what writing music is. It's like putting it down and capturing it. Right. Whereas like a freestyle, you're just stuck in the moment.
It's all improvisation.
Some rappers only rap like I think Lil Wayne's like known for this. They'll only rap like 4 lines at a time, 8 lines at a time, and they'll just keep cutting in, and that's how they write the song.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, they do that.
Which is like to me so different because what I would do is I'm gonna write it like word for word for word for word and like. Come on, Oscar.
No, you sit back here. I'm way up in this. We're animal whisperers too. If when we don't do podcasts, we whisper to animals.
Yeah, you ever see that guy who's like has the dogs and he's like lets the dogs bite him? And
that is the dog whisperer.
Yeah, for real. And you need those people.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, see, look at him coming right back. He hears dog. He hears dog. He's like, that's me. You're talking about me.
Yeah, not you, but just. You.
Out here, Oscar. I don't think you can handle it. I don't think you can handle. Oh, look.
see, that's the brainiac. That's that scientific brainiac. He knows what's going on, dude.
I try to tell people. Yeah, he knows exactly what's happening.
That was man. I wish the camera would have saw that. That's slow motion.
What he does is like every time I do a podcast, he like tries to act like, oh, I'm gonna be good. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm being totally cool. And then about like 30 minutes into the podcast, 45 minutes, he's on top of you. He's like trying to lick your face. And it's like, dude, we can't have this. This is... He tortures people. And he traps them into the situation. He's like, oh, they're talking. So now I can start to do my thing. He gets carried away. And now he knows we're talking about him.
Exactly.
He's like, no, I'm cool. I'm cool. He's like, cool. He's smart.
I'm going to go to sleep. No, I'm not.
I think the smaller dogs are smarter. Yeah. It's kind of like all humans. I think like if you don't have like the big muscles and you don't have the build to just like scare people off with your pure athleticism, you're gonna kind of rely on your brains a little more. That's why nerds are dangerous, you know.
Yeah, you gotta use your. If you don't have the brawn, you have to use your brain.
Exactly.
So
I think the small dogs are smarter.
Right, exactly.
I think the small dogs have to all bark no bite.
They know what's up. They know what's going on around here.
They're little manipulators.
Yeah, they are. Like that's why you got the little stumpy dogs.
Cats are really the
Droopy and Chili and Chili Will, not Chili Willy, but Droopy and like
Droopy dogs.
What's the other dog that was kind of small that kind of had that kind of demeanor like that? I can't think of it. But Droopy was one of them. I think his deputy dog was like that too. His
like a basset hound, like droopy,
like little
big long ears,
like a little Frankfurter. Frankfurter.
I had a friend with a basset hound, and that dog was interesting.
A Nathan Special.
It's crazy.
I don't want to get canceled. So I don't want to say that. No, I didn't say that. Don't get canceled here, buddy. Oh man!
You gotta turn it into a rap bar.
Yeah,
you gotta turn it into a bar.
Yeah, I'll turn it. You just check out a show. I'll flip it somewhere.
Yo. When I'm coming at you, they thinking that I can't hurt you. I got a dog. This motherfucker, a Frankfurter.
Frankfurter. Oh man! Wow. I was gonna say though. I don't know. I mean, what I was just gonna say that this is a special occasion to drop this record on 420. You know what I'm saying? It was good. That normally, like you said, normally I was just talking. I'm in the City Cypher too. If you see this right here, you can see that.
City Cypher.
Yeah, exactly. And then check us out on YouTube and everything like that. But like I was just saying, like one of my crew members hit me up and is saying that it's a rare occasion that sometimes these things happen when you fall, because when you drop them on it and it hits it around that drop date, that's what's up. But there's like sometimes these things happen and they'll come out like April 22nd or the 21st or the 23rd or something like that. So when I was putting it up on the Styles Manifest Bandcamp page that we got. So when I was putting up on there, then I just happened to look down on my phone and I looked at the Spotify. I said, "Oh, there it is." I was like, "Okay, they did what they was told." That shot the Dot from Songcast on that one. I don't know if Dot might be real or Dot might be an actual Dot, but thanks to Dot though for anyway. You putting a dot in your eyes and crossing your T's on that one, kid. So, yeah, I'm just saying, bro, that those things sometimes don't happen like that. So it is a monumental moment in in a moment of time that's in the capsule. But you just have to just when these things happen like this, you take it in. It's like you take in your bowl,
Well, like, are you already thinking about like your next project at all? Are you thinking about anything?
Not really. I mean, I probably won't start thinking about the next project probably like 6-7 months in. I'll probably start kind of come and think about it. But like,
I just don't write anything for those 6 months.
I mean, I'll write. No, I'll write like random. I got like random one-off songs and stuff, and then for them 6-7 months, we have Sands of the Hour because we're gonna start. We're gonna be working on the second Sands of the Hour project this summer too.
And tell the people, what is Sands of the Hour?
Sands of the Hour is pretty much a 3-man squad that consists of me, another cat who does beats and on Ill with the Rhymes and Ill with the Beats. His brother Tone is the second cat. Then we got the third cat is an engineer extraordinaire. He likes to collect a lot of gear, like as in recording gear, VHSs. Pretty much anything that's gear, he wants to. He'll get it from you, and he is a dope MC too. And his name is Artie Slaw. So that's the 3 cats that's in Sands of the Hour, which our latest record is on stylesmanifest.bandcamp.com called Specks in the Sand. So peep that out, and also the new record Brink of Insanity is up too. So just check out the Styles Manny page if you don't have Spotify or iTunes. It's up on there now, so it's no excuse why you can't peep it out. You ain't got no excuses. You ain't got no excuses. There's no escape here, Craig. You gonna eat that cake, man. You gonna eat it good.
What is like the difference between Sands of the Hour and your music though? Like, what's the difference?
Well, I think when you get a Levi Stress record, you have all different type of phases of personalities and songs. Make sure, whereas it was Sands of the Hour, we gotta have to go by more of being on the same guidelines with the other MC and make sure structurally, the songs are together and everyone is saying the right verses for the right songs and having the ideas. The beat is right for what we're we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it crazy when you think about those 10 people rap groups.
Yeah.
How do they even keep it together?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, that's why I said on other podcasts, I'd rather be by myself than in groups, because in a group, you gotta deal with other personalities and everything, to where you're by yourself. It's just pretty much you.
That's why I like rap in the first place. It's like one of the core things is I can always do it by myself. I don't need anybody else.
Exactly,
there's nothing I have to. There's no barrier.
Groups,
there's nothing.
And like I said, and that's the thing. That's why there's a lot more solo artists now than you did back in the 70s and the 80s and 90s. There were more groups. There was more groups. You didn't really have a lot of solo MCs and solo artists, but you did. you know, Rock Hit and Big Daddy Kane, you know, and there were some, there were a few, you know, but it was more groups at that time, but now, from like I would say to about the mid '90s to now, you know, you still had groups, but now like within the like I would say 2010, 2020 era, you don't really have. The hip hop group is like not there no more. It's like,
there's not really any like notable.
Like I mentioned like before we started the pod, I had mentioned about Coast Contra, you know, but that's like, you know, but groups like you don't have that's the one I know of. That's the one I know of. I know that I'm pretty sure there's some cats out there, upcoming cats. If there is, I don't know, but. That's from what I know. The group is not that main element no more. It's like mainly it's more solo artists now. Solo artists, you know, it's a solo artist game now.
Yeah, well, and for better or worse, right? Like I think you could have
take it easy, sister. Yo, Sean, what's wrong with your man, Sean?
He's got too much going on.
It's like, yo, Sean, what's wrong with your man in there, Sean? Your man's is bugging, Sean. Yo, Sean, what's wrong with your man, Sean?
I don't know. Like, you ever wonder like what your dog's voice would sound like? What a dog's voice would sound like? Like, I feel like Oscar would. I wonder what his voice would sound like sometimes.
You think he might sound like an old '70s Chicago gangsters? Old '70s Chicago gangsters.
Not what you would expect at all.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite.
Yeah,
your dog is like your dog has a British accent all of a sudden.
Yeah. Well, I like a spot of tea there, Livingston.
Like what? What'd you just say?
Spotted tea, Livingston. What are we talking about here?
Your whole opinion of your dog would change so fast.
Exactly.
You know, you're not who I thought you were, man.
You're not. You're like your body. Like you see a big bulldog, and he's sounding like he's like on some like Frankfurter dog type style. Like he's like you're a big ass dog, but you like talk like this.
Yeah.
Like come on, bro. Like what are you doing here, Jackson?
It's a Rottweiler, but it's like super flamboyant.
Yeah, like nah.
Starts talking like this.
Oh no, that would not be cool. I'd be like, yo, man, pump the brakes here, Johnny.
That'd be crazy. On the other hand, like you could have a Chihuahua who's like, you know,
got a deep voice like this. Chihuahua talks like this.
Yeah, like
Chihuahua just walks around. Like it does not sound like
it's in and out
George Lopez.
It is in and out of bars in Guadalupe.
Yeah. It's actually part of the cartel.
Yeah, I've seen those dogs before too. They be the little killers, yo. Yeah.
Dude, I like the more and more you learn about the cartel, the crazier and crazier it is.
Oh man,
I can't even imagine.
I ain't want to talk about that stuff.
Man, it's just crazy.
That is.
I mean,
crazy.
like, I don't even know.
Oh,
I feel like one of the worst jobs you could possibly have would be like somebody working on like that area, you know, just hanging out like the worst areas in Mexico.
Nah,
you
dude,
know?
you don't want to do that, man. That's where you come up missing. You come up floating in the Gulf of Mexico.
That's why I just need to know where I can go in Mexico. Just tell me where I can go.
I don't think right now with this douchebag in office, I don't think there's anywhere you can go now.
I think Mexico's America now. I think Mexico just became America.
Yeah, he tried to call it the Gulf of America with his dumb ass. Like, what? Come on,
is it?
Hey, that ain't gonna work. That's crazy work, right?
I think they did it. I think it's
crazy
over.
Work.
I think they did it. I think it's over. I think it's like the Sears
dumb.
Tower, though. I think it's just that type of thing where they'll change the name and then no one ever says what they changed it to. You know, it's always gonna be the Sears Tower, not the Willis Tower.
Yeah, it is. It's always the Sears Tower. Ain't no Willis Tower. That's Sears Tower. Ain't no Willis around here. Ain't know what you talking about, Willis around here.
I thought the Hancock Building, it might be the same thing. I thought the Hancock Building, the name might change. I'm not so sure about that.
They gonna keep that the Hancock, but we don't do.
I guess. Oh, you know what? The Allstate Arena, though, or is it McCormick? I mean,
McCormick.
What the fuck is
McCormick?
The South.
Yeah,
baseball.
For the last time I saw it was McCormick Place still.
No, it's like Guaranteed Rate Field.
No, you talking about McCormick Place is up downtown.
I think I'm mixing them up.
Yeah, you mixed them up.
Yeah,
that's the Sox. Sox Park is like low in South Side.
But what it used to be?
It used to be called Comiskey Park.
That's what I was trying to remember. I was just mixing up the names.
It's all good, you know
McCormick, Comiskey.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's all
close,
good.
but no cigar.
Yeah,
but
these
that's what I'm
things
saying though.
happen.
Is they change it to fucking guaranteed rate feel.
Yeah, guaranteed rate.
No
feel.
one's gonna call it that.
Yeah, that's Comiskey. That's Sox part.
Exactly.
That's Sox part. You ain't even saying Comiskey. That's Sox part.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But it's just like it's just sad when that happens. I think the Gulf of Mexico is just a classic example.
Yeah.
The Gulf of America. It's just one of those things where, it's just like a silly thing.
I smacked the orange powder off your bitch ass.
I think what it really is it's like to try to get people to get mad at each other. Like you're just trying to get people mad at each other because there's got to be people who like get excited and they want to call it the Gulf of America just to like prove a point. Yeah. Like that's really the trick. And then like now you have people getting mad at people for calling it the other thing. When really it's like, like the government does way worse things than change the name of the Gulf.
Oh, yeah.
They do way worse shit than that.
Yeah, they do way worse than that. Changing names? Oh, that's just dry.
This is like light work for them.
Yeah, this is light work for us. You don't know what's behind these velvet curtains, you bitch ass.
And to me, like, that's the game. I think that's always the game, dude. I think that's
Your
politics
bitch
101.
Don't know what's going on.
I think they just they find a way. The arts, the craft to it, like the art to it, is to find a way to get people pissed off about dumb shit.
Yeah,
and then that's what we're all just gonna be mad at. And then no one like. It's like how someone would extort you. Like it's like how it's like how someone who's stealing your money would steal your money because they would take advantage of your your goodwill and they would find a way to like keep stringing you along and then distracting you with other things.
Yeah, it's called you throw your rock and and you hide your head. It's called I'm doing this. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing the Bismarck on you. I'm doing that. In a bad way. I'm doing the Bismarck in a bad way on you while doing that. So, I mean, it's just that. But that tactic has been used for since the beginning of existence of the human race. That tactic has been used. It's the deception. It's, make your eye. You're looking at the left, but they're playing you with the right. So that's what's been that's been going on since the beginning. So it's just being able to have your both eyes on both hands. That's the thing. You got your eyes on one hand, but you ain't seeing what the other hand's doing, and he's over here just fucking shit up, so, but yeah, pretty much that's it, that's it with that.
I mean, like, do you feel like people do that on purpose?
Well, I mean, yeah, they do it on purpose because they do it to get their agenda across. That's one of the ways for you have to keep people lost before you can pull your propaganda off. That's how you do. You get them lost. You get them in a mind state of where they don't know what anything is going. What's coming up from what's coming down, and then now I can spread my agenda to you because now you're gonna believe my agenda because you haven't been led to what's the righteous word or the way of the true life and the true meaning of life. So, I'm going to pull my sleight of hand on you and then I got you.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a big reason psychedelics and like even marijuana when you look back and you see. I just got the DVD. It's like around here somewhere. It was in one of those free book things. What is it? Reefer Madness?
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that before.
Yeah, but it's like the classic weed propaganda film from like the 40s or 50s where it's like weed is the devil. Weed's going to destroy society. And that's like one of the things that led to it being illegal for so long. Because, I mean, nowadays, it's kind of regular. But just like 20, 30 years ago...
They try to pull prohibition.
Yeah.
The prohibition laws and everything.
Well, it's silly because people are going to do it anyway. And I think a lot of it is just because, again, it goes back to... If it is all this grand thing to get us not to get along, wouldn't that be the perfect thing to keep people away from? Things like that that make them get along. Just stress them out all the time. Just stress them out. Like, alcohol is socially acceptable. And I would say alcohol probably makes people fight 10 million times more than weed.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
people will do terrible things with alcohol.
Yeah, man. I mean, you smoked out. You ain't trying to do all that raising your arms, all that shit. when you got someone that's raging minutes off of like, some tequila sunrises and some Jaeger bombs, and he said, "What you think gonna happen? It's gonna be that. I'm gonna see you outside, Sal. Come on, G. Like, he was looking like a sloppy drunk, a sloppy mess, look like a hedgehog looking face ass. I'm not trying to, man, you doing all that. That's why they're out there like that. Trying to fight like they're like Popeye and Bluto back in the 40s.
The story tells itself.
Yeah.
You just look at the picture, it's worth a million words.
Exactly, bro. Like, trying to do all that. Ain't no weed head trying to do all that. They trying to listen to some dope ass music, and then if you got your shorty around trying to get that, you know what?
Bill Hicks had a great joke.
We ain't gonna say that word. We ain't gonna say all them because we love y'all ladies. We love y'all.
We
ladies.
Respect women. That's why we won't say that.
That's what we
But you know what he's
that.
saying.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying without having to say it. That's all I'm pretty much going to say about that. The implications, exactly. That's the head in the breadbasket.
But Bill Hicks had a great joke about like people get like they say that people in traffic like weed, you can't drive high, and like if everybody was high on the road, it would actually be 10 times safer because everybody's going like 20 miles under the speed limit, like super slow.
Exactly.
That's what weed does.
Yeah, you wouldn't have no road rage out here. See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, cats would be smoking while they driving. It would be chill as fuck because ain't nobody gonna be road raging out here. Everybody's gonna be relaxed, sitting there listening to some P-Funk, George Clinton, P-Funk, some Bootsy Collins, and you gonna be just riding out. Sunrise, you gonna be just riding. Ain't nobody gonna be sitting there trying to be raising their fists and saying, "You dumb monkey" to some, cat, or "You dumb SOB," and you ride, and you like that. You gonna be listening to Funky Doug. You gonna be like, "Oh, let me ride. I'm gonna keep on riding, motherfucker." Shit. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's like, I mean, I just think it's crazy. I think there's definitely, obviously, an incentive for people not to get along. There's a million things.
Yeah.
It's just so sad to me because, like, I think the internet kind of makes it worse too.
Yeah,
whenever you hang out with people in real life, it's not like you're gonna be like that.
Well, that's the divide and conquer tactics they use. That's part of that. I was talking, a few minutes ago about the sleight of hand trick. But that's part of the divide and conquer tactic is also part of the sleight of hand, ritual that they've done too. You can keep a people farther, separated. You can keep a people powerless because you get people together and show strength in numbers. You can take over anything. But that's why they keep you divided. They keep you divided so you won't take over. You're at each other's throats. That's why they want you at each other's throats. You're always constantly bickering with the guy that has no more power than you got. You bickering with this guy, but then you got the other cats behind the curtains. They're running a whole pyramid scheme on you, and you don't even realize it. And that's facts,
I feel like every headline is a pyramid scheme.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like every time I see a headline, I'm like, that's probably not exactly true. That's probably a misrepresentation.
You gonna find that bullshit in there somewhere.
They're always selling you something.
A bullshit mishap that's gonna be in there.
Yeah,
there's always gonna be a bullshit mishap that's going on in there. That's another part of the pyramid scheme.
Right.
We can keep you scared. Media. That's why media is the forefront to keeping the people scared.
Right. Yeah, because it's about shock.
Exactly, shock value.
Yeah.
How bad we can put the shock value on these people now? You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's just crazy. It's crazy the things that people will say in response to like how things have gotten. Like, I remember I was hanging out with a rapper once, and we were hanging out, and hold on.
Put this up. I think we're good with that. that joint but for me, like I said, this is Cousin Elroy.
Cousin Elroy.
You see what's up, Cousin Elroy? This is your second time being on the pod, Cousin Elroy. Yeah, he was on
Cousin Elroy's a celebrity now.
Yeah, he was on another pod.
You made it. Tell his mama he made it. Cousin Elroy.
Cousin Elroy. Cousin Elroy. Boy, you made it, boy. I seen you, boy, on that podcast. Boy, what's that podcast name again? Woo Way Radio? No, it's Ruse, man. Yeah, Ruse Radio, son. Yeah, you was on it, boy. Elroy, you was in there getting smoked, man. Boy, you was getting smoked.
Yeah.
And so yeah, all right, Elroy, we'll talk to you later. Man, and that's how that goes. You probably was like, why is he talking on the phone and talking to the microphone? You probably wondering. We were just doing a reenactment of Elroy making it. And like I said, we were doing another reenactment too, man. Man, dude. You kept your shirt, bro.
Oh, yeah. This shirt right here.
Yeah, you kept
actually, this shirt.
You kept that.
I never worked at 7-Eleven.
Oh, man. What?
Got this shirt at...
Yeah, bro.
Drum roll, please.
Oh, man.
I got this shirt at Goodwill.
Goodwill?
Yeah.
Yo, bro, man. Because usually the Patel brothers won't let you keep it.
Yeah.
They won't let you keep the shirts, B. They ain't gonna be like, you give that shirt, you give that shirt. Motherfucker, I ain't giving. I might want this shirt, bro. It might be the only shirt I got. Bro.
I have a McDonald's shirt that I kept too. Actually, from that one, I actually worked at McDonald's, but I remember I kept the attire.
See, when I had two ain't so bad,
I feel like what is it? I think I kept all my work shirts if I'm right, dude. But those, I think some of them, you're supposed to give them back. I think McDonald's is supposed to give it back. I think you think 7-Eleven probably supposed to give it back. 7-Eleven,
yeah. I'm surprised the Patel brothers did not come to your house.
It makes me want to go to the 7-Eleven.
You give back shirt, or we will take back our goat milk. Goat milk.
I ain't giving them shit, dude.
I ain't giving you shit. Goat milk.
But I should go to a 7-Eleven and pretend to work there and just see what happens.
That would be funny. You were just walking up the shirt, start stocking up shit. It's like, hey, we need more cookies over here. Oh man!
Start talking to people.
Yo, Oscar, who is this guy? I don't know.
And if they ask, I'll just say I'm sent from another store. They sent me from the other store. And since it's Chicago, there's another store every 2 blocks.
Yeah, exactly.
So they don't even know I could say any store. How are they going to confirm it?
That would be funny. That would be so funny if we had some cameras. You go out and did that.
It's a great idea.
That would be dope. I would be the cameraman.
I'm trying to think of the right.
I would be the cameraman.
You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to make anybody pissed, right? You don't want to do anything crazy.
Yeah. That would be funny though. You just go in the store and just sit down and just start stocking shit up. Yeah. That would be funny. I would laugh. I would definitely laugh at that. We got to employee. That's a white though.
You think maybe I should have an accent or something?
Yeah.
I talk like this. I don't know why, bro. It's just who I am, man.
Yeah.
I grew up on the South Side, bro. I grew up different than most people.
I've been from Bridgeport via Moscow. That would be how that go. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going for Cholo as well.
Cholo. Oh, okay.
I was born in Mexico, bro, but now I live here. And I didn't live in Mexico for long. I only lived there for a couple months, and my parents are white. But this is who I am, you see? And I'm happy to work here, bro. My name's Eddie.
Oh, shit. Wow. That was interesting.
I'm trying to think of the angle to take this.
That's a vato from San Bernardino. What the fuck, yo?
I mean,
it's all good,
or I could do a southern accent. I could go in there like this, because I feel like this one's not that bad. I feel like if I do this long enough, they might actually believe me. I mean, it's not perfect, but I've done this one before plenty of times, and I feel like if I just do it long enough. One thing I used to do on TikTok is I would go, because you can join other people's lives, so I would start talking like this, and I would say, do you want me? I'm going to freestyle rap for you. Just give me 3 words. I'll do a whole freestyle rap.
Wow.
Maybe actually gave me 5 words, actually. And then I had them give me 5 words. And then I just rapped completely normal.
Oh, man. Now you got my man sound like he's from Clarksville, Tennessee now. Man, which is a spot that I did a lot of shows. I used to live in Nashville.
Oh, really?
So
how accurate was that accent?
So that was pretty. I'd give you a 6.5.
Not bad. Sounds like it would pass.
Maybe a 7. I don't know. Maybe a 7.
I haven't seen enough of it. If I went down there and saw Lil Marv, I'd probably.
If you was to live down, if you was to live there for like about a year, I think you might would get it, because even I was picking up on accent. I picked up an accent when South Carolina. I was in South Carolina, and I picked up an accent when I was in Tennessee. So you'll pick up on the accent. Even if you'll start sounding like cats and don't even realize you're doing that. And even some of them, they'll start telling you like, you ain't sound like that like 6 years ago. Like, oh. Well, then there you go. Then you start picking up the accent.
You ever hear about like when people hit their heads really hard and then their accent changes afterwards? They start talking
I ain't hear about all that.
To me, it doesn't even make any sense.
That's like ZZ Top.
It's the craziest thing. Like, how does that even work? You fall over, you hit your head, and then I wake up and I'm talking like this. Like, for real. That's a real thing.
Mary Poppins face ass.
Imagine that. You fall over, you hit your head.
RuPaul
and
face ass.
And now you sound
boy.
like fucking, you sound like Mary Poppins.
You sound like a bloody Englishman. Like, what the fuck? You just sound like Taishan from 79th. Now you sound like you from England, bro. What's wrong with you?
It doesn't even make sense.
Bruh.
I mean, but it could happen to you. It could happen to any of us.
God.
It's happened enough times to where it's like a pattern. If you just hit your head hard enough.
That's some supernatural ass shit right there.
It's like getting superpowers, yeah.
Yeah, God, man.
But I mean, like, changing accents is an interesting thing. Like your voice changing over time, like adapting to places. It is interesting.
That is
like,
interesting. It is
or the fact that like
interesting.
people learned, because I mean, I think they've done studies, and it's like if you study the way that a baby talks, like the way that a baby's tongue moves and the way they can make sounds, they're like shaping out how to do it, and they can make any sound they want to make if they do it right. But if like certain languages, you'll see that people can't pronounce certain things. Like in Chinese with the L's turn into R's,
Oh, shit.
because they don't, like if they were saying hello.
Exactly.
That's why.
That's why
they don't pronounce the L's because they don't teach them as a kid to do it. And so like any Chinese kid could pronounce it. But if you don't tell them, like if you don't teach them how to do it at an early age, that's why they can't.
Wow.
Which is crazy to me. Like it's actually based on your
all their handwriting and I do not have. There's not a blues clue.
Yeah.
I don't have a blues clue with that.
Oh, dude,
Really
I know,
don't.
because like
I don't
imagine if
have
you were
a
learning
blues
to
clue.
speak Chinese, you'd have to learn how to read Chinese at the same time.
Exactly, bruh. And that, bruh.
Yeah.
That's
like a few languages, right? I think Arabic would be the same.
Arabic is
Sanskrit, I think is what it is.
Arabic is one.
There's all kinds. I think like those early languages, like Greek and Roman, I think only a few people can read it. I don't even think a lot of people can read those early languages.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough draw right there,
dude. Dude, we needed the Rosetta Stone just to be able to fucking piece together that shit. Languages are crazy when you really think about it. Like we're all just communicating shit through different like schematics. Like different languages have different words that describe things that don't describe things in your language. Like I think Mexico, like there's a lot more shit connected to death because death's bigger in their culture. Like the way that they look at death is so much different than American culture. Exactly. Day of the Dead and all that.
Right.
But there's a million things like that in different languages.
Oh yeah.
Like I think Chinese, there's a lot more words about like togetherness. Like I think because like it's all. They look at themselves as a collective, so there's a lot more words about things like that. Whereas in America, in English, it's more about independence.
Right, like exactly. It's more of America's always been more about your self. You're being that self-made. You're about yourself. The word in other countries is more about community and togetherness and love. those guidelines. Whereas with us, it's just a me type of mentality.
Yeah, and really, I think the best thing you could have is a
mine.
balance. You need a balance.
Yeah, you gotta have a balance.
Because you have the me drive is like the thing that pushes you to be an artist. Like it's the thing that pushes you to do your best work. I think it's that focusing on yourself and wanting the best for yourself and pushing yourself. That's important. But at the same time, like you can't have like the top 5 people in the world owning everything.
Exactly. Yeah. A bunch of Elon Musk looking cats out here. A bunch of Elon Musk rats.
I think like the scales just tipped more and more and more and more and more,
right.
and then like now it's just crazy. I mean, in 2016, it was Bernie Sanders coming out saying these millionaires and billionaires own everything.
Right.
And it's been 9 years since that, and it's not gotten any better.
And they own more now. Now they own more.
Yeah. Just imagine what 2020 did for them. They made a lot of money.
Bro, that was their stack up time.
Yeah,
it was everyone's. Unless you was really working like that, you know, that was your stack bread. That was your stack. That was your time to stack bread. Even though when the world ended, that was your time to stack.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was frontline working in a group home and stuff. So I really, when I was having to stack while I was trying to earn, you know. So that was, you know, if you was already stacking and you just stacked more and you could be, you know, work remotely at your house, you know, that's more kudos to you, you know. That's how that goes.
I got lucky because I was a server and my workplace closed, and because I was a server, I was able to get the government assistance. And like, I'm never ever gonna. I mean, dude, I'm so lucky. It's how I got a lot of this equipment here.
Yeah,
it's like through that monitor I got,
up, man.
that TV I got. So shout out to the government for that. I mean, honestly, I think there's a way you could even stimulate the economy and just give everybody money.
Yeah,
that would actually even things out a little bit.
That would even. I mean, it's like you wouldn't have this the have and the have-nots mentality. You know, you would be able to where society cats could actually be able to have enough income to actually be able to do something what they want to do. Like, you know, you said with the government assistance, you know,
just only so much. You don't need like $1 million.
Well, yeah, but like how you was able to get, you know, you get your studio popping here with that. So it's like I think people just would need to have enough of an economic rush for them to where it could get them where they can go, or they could get them to start to do something else. I think it's just, but not even having the push to do it, or not being able to get the bread to be able to really give a good considerable push to make your life, to improve your life. That's where you have that have and have nots mentality.
Right, because everybody feels like it's like an impossible game.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
What the fuck, dude? Like, so I'm just expected to like do this forever and make nothing and have to work like a day job at the same time as I'm trying to do this other thing. And what if I want to have a family and like a friends and a life? Like, how's all that gonna go?
Like,
it's an impossible game.
You ain't gonna have that. Nah, we ain't gonna give you no friends, life, free time. Oh, you want to be able to chill? Nah, you ain't gonna be able to do that. Now you can work that extra overtime on Saturday. That's what you could do.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have free time. Yeah, what's that? You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, you know.
Someone just told me on the last episode of the show, Marcos Sereno, he's a comedian, he came back the second time.
Okay.
And he just did his own show. And he said to me, like, setting up that show, he can see how if he did this consistently, he could actually make enough money to, like, pay his rent and all that. And so to me, it made it click in my mind. Like, maybe it really is time to just start setting up shows, just making money off tickets. Like, just do that. Like, find other ways to actually do it. Because there's probably a million ways you can do it to make money off of it.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the trap, is, like, just getting stuck doing it forever for free and not making anything.
Exactly. That's the thing. Well, you won't be able to coexist if you just do it for free. You're going to...
Yeah, well, I've seen people, like, just... I mean, I've even been lucky. Like, I've reached out to artists that I like, and I've gotten free verses out of them. I've given out free verses. So I think, like... There's something to that, but at the same time, like, it's painful. That's another thing I was talking to Marcos about, is he was saying, like, at his show, he paid a lot of the comedians. And, like, that's the thing you'll see in the comedy scene, at least on like the lower side of it, where a lot of times the comedians are coming out, they're not even getting paid. They're just there to be there for exposure, essentially.
Gotcha, yeah.
Which is like something, even as a rapper, you'll see that. You'll get told, be on the show. Sometimes they'll want you to pay to be on the show. I've had that happen where they've asked me, buy, you what it is, it's like a pyramid scheme. They're telling me,
pay to play.
You pay, I want you to buy 20 tickets, but don't worry, you can sell your 20 tickets.
That's that pyramid scheme shit too.
That was their sell. I was like, dude, are you kidding me?
No, and then it's like you have to bustle. You're the artist, and why am I the artist and I'm running around here like a promo guy? I'm supposed to be the artist. Why am I have to push these tickets off like a promo guy?
Exactly.
I'm the artist. Why am I? These are things that you got promo people do. So we don't have to do that.
Exactly. So
we're not your street team. We're your performers.
And another thing Marcos was saying to me is like one of the things he's trying to do with the show is make it like he films everything. He sends a clip to the comedians.
Right.
He there's a couple other things he said, but he tries to put perks in it. He tries to make it like worth it for them. And that's a smart thing. In my mind, that's genius too. Like make them want to be there.
Exactly.
Give them a reason,
Exactly. Yeah.
Because that's how you make like a successful show, like a successful thing.
That's true.
Yeah. Like if you had I think the idea, what I have to do is like a rap comedy extravaganza. I have to find a way to string these things together,
Right.
I think that's the first experiment, but also we give away money. We give away money.
You gotta be able to give off some prizes, man, because that's gonna keep them people coming back. A lot of people think, oh, well, you just give out the little radio prizes. They go, no, you'll be surprised how many people will keep their loyalty to our station because they got that certain I guess segmented in a program. So you always don't always think that oh, that's corny, because that element right there could keep them a good maybe 5,000 to 10,000 listeners, or something. That's why he says it's never corny when it becomes part of your format and your segment, a part of your I would say your broadcasting programming. If it's there, keep that there, because that could be the one element that you might scratch out, and there you go. So if it's in there, it's in there for a reason. That's why I say, if it's there for a reason.
Yeah, I think things work for the right reason too.
Exactly. Exactly.
Things work out in some type of way. I think I think it's why real wins. I think that's why I feel like hip hop has to come back around. Like the real rappers will, in the end, come back.
They'll come back around. I think it's gonna that'll be make his resurrection. But I still say present era or present form is gonna be there because it's present form. Anything that's in present form is always gonna be somewhere within, a true element game. That's what I'm saying. Like I couldn't see really, in say 2030, you're gonna basically have, a whole 90s a whole 90s renaissance or something like that. I don't really. I mean, you'll have nostalgic. You'll have artists that will have that flavor, but as a whole whole takeover game, it's rough because you got like I said, because it's generational. You have, by then you're gonna have 2 or 3 generations.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if those cats are gonna even really know. Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
I'm not even gonna know that era. So that's why it's it's more of a nostalgia. You got you got some dudes or some young ladies that be nostalgic about it, Yeah, you can do that, but I think it's going to be you'll have a nostalgic moment, but then you're going to still have present times, just like you have now.
But I feel like it's just the purity of hip hop is what it is, though. There's it's not just nostalgia. I think it's the pure reality that you can have if you're rapping from you. You're pulling it out of you, you know? Like, I think that's what makes a rapper a rapper. I think, like, that's the whole, like, Drake versus Kendrick thing. If I were to, like, interpret it, it's like Kendrick, the hip-hop rapper that's purely conceptual, versus Drake, the pop rapper who's kind of going to do more commercial things.
That's still part of that divide and conquer, too, though. I mean, all these are,
because in the end, it's all just music, yeah.
It's still, but it's divide and conquer, but there's I don't... elements to that. There's a lot. There's layers and some elements to that. There's a few elements to that, but in the day, it's still that divide and conquer mechanisms that they use. It's like, it's always going to be where, it's never where it couldn't be a moment where, for a culture where you have both play the Super Bowl or have it where it doesn't look at where it's like the culture's always fighting amongst each other. Have it to where you have a definitive moment there. But I think, but like I said, that's just part of the society that we live in.
What was cool was when Dre did the Super Bowl a few months ago or a few years ago, and it was him, Kendrick, Eminem, 50 Cent.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was dope.
That was kind of that. Where it's
exactly.
It's a moment for rap.
It's a moment. Yeah, you got to put your culture in more positive light. Having it be seen in a positive light and everything. I think that plays a role. It plays a role. And
we got Travis Scott with people like dying at his festival and shit.
Yeah,
Did you hear about that?
That's what I'm saying. I know about that. Yeah, that's what
that just blew my mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have it. You have it from a right. It's a good perspective right here, but then it turns into a wicked narrow perspective over there. So that's how these things go. But yeah, I'm just like I said, man. Like I said, the brink of insanity. Like I said, I'm gonna keep plugging because I'm a plugger. I like electrician. I do light work. I plug. That's what it is.
You're a plugger.
Plugger.
You mother plugger.
You mother plugger. You mother plugger. You boy.
You plugging mother plugger.
You plugging mother. Yeah. So we don't want no sensory bars on this on this situation. So I ain't gonna say that no more. But nah, I can't say it. I will say it. I'll say it when I feel like saying it later on. But I'm mother plugging it right now. See, I just said it right there. See there? I just shot it over your head. Pow, 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 you know what I'm saying? I'm like Billy the Kid, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Woo!
You just won the duel.
Boom! You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly, kid.
Well, bring that accent back around
exactly.
again.
Yeah. Now you sound like he's from either Amarillo, Texas, or Montgomery, Alabama.
Well, I noticed if I go way down here, it's like a whole different accent. If you do this, that's actually completely different than the other one. I feel like this just must be a different part of the South.
No, that's the Ozarks.
The Ozarks.
That's the Ozarks.
I wish I could do like a Minnesota accent. I wish I could do. See, I can't do Minnesota.
It's Scottish, man. It's a very. I like
an Irish accent. I was trying. See, when I do Irish, I get Australian. Australian is what this sounds like. But Irish is more like this. I feel like the Irish. See this.
That sounds like like either a mix between Conor McGregor and Steve Irwin.
Yeah, exactly. That's
what that reminds me of.
Personally, I think my best voice is probably this one right here. Okay. It took me a lot of practice before I sounded a little bit like Stewie, but now I figured it out. I gotta go Stewie. In my throat. There's a rhythm to it, you see. It's kind of a musical voice. You go up and down and you take them on a ride, and the people love it. They love going on rides. That's why we love amusement parks. Can I get a round of applause for amusement parks? The liberals hate amusement. They don't like fun.
That's good. I can do Peter Griffin's laugh.
All right. Oh, that's pretty good. I wish I could do SpongeBob like, I think that's like almost. When I've seen the voice actor do it, he does something with his throat when he does it. Like, he does like that. Dude, I can't do Peter Griffin.
Giggity.
Yeah.
I can do a little Quagmire too.
I've seen people do the Herbert the Pervert,
That was done. Those were done pretty well. I had to get this old Seth MacFarlane, his old.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy how many voices that guy has actually done.
Exactly.
It's funny how Ted is just Peter Griffin too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is just a bear. Build the bear looking ass.
Did you see when Logic did that song with Seth MacFarlane and he's in like the Frank Sinatra voice, like and today, like he's singing like that. You know?
Oh nah.
Yeah, he's got like a whole Frank Sinatra thing he does.
Oh, shit.
Like he does, like he literally, I think he has a whole album where he did like lounge
That's
music.
Wow.
Seth
Start
MacFarlane.
spreading the news.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. Oh man, but yeah, I mean, if we got some like I don't know, we got like an instrumental here, whatever. You do a little rapping.
From the land of YouTube, from down under. Steve Irwin, Steve Urkel, we twerking, we tweaking, we working on the weekends. I put that work in, I got them perks in. I don't do no perks, friend. Hey, I think it's perfect. I don't need no one to work with. I've been following my urges. I've been doing it cause it's worth it. I've been seeing that y'all's fucking worthless. I've been jumping through some hurdles, doing what I do. Yo, you moving like some turtles. I got a million habits. You're getting chased by a million rabbits. Like for real, that's how I feel. Play the real. I'ma steal every election. You got no protection. I'm coming for your head. You don't need this. Perfect. My achievements. Be so fake. I'm Ruse, yet I'm the realest. What?
Like detergent, urgent. Come through like it was the Sergeant Slaughter. Yes, the young daughter. Yo, go on a date coming through because, yo, why bother? Hot on the collar. Yo, get your last dollar. Yo, rap scholar. Come through, holler. Hear me like it was Scott Steiner or Tupac. Coming through like it was Tupac's. Of that stomach, of the pelts. Told you before because I'm like a belt. Yo, you get whelped in your backside. Homicide. Yo, coming through, wash your clothes with Tide. Or better yet, all type of detergent. MCs don't know because I be like the Earth Kid when I rising from the ground. Coming through because yo fist pound, we do it together. Soul brothers coming through, we just smother. Yo, that's the microphone, word to the brother. I sign a parquet, yo, a hiccup. MC shut the fuck up, yo, because I skip up. Like it was Shannon Sharp. After dark coming through because yo, even in the park, yo, we coming through on Ruse Radio. Be like fucking giving you a scenario like Arsenio. Long finger pointed at you. Hot you. There you go, brother.
I chew. Tell him like bless you. I chew. I be in the room 7-Eleven. I poo. You be seeing me. I do what I do. Checking when I move. Yo, it's Ruse with the crew. I be doing what I do. Feeling like the best. And I ain't even stressed. What? I'm wearing Levi's. When you see us 420, we high. We vibe. Watch, we ride. We be cruising through the street like we try. We try. Tricycles. You feel me? I'm so cold, bitch. I'm an icicle.
See, that's why we do things like that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Bars.
Why bars? Why
I pointed at you.
Wyatt has bars. Levi Stress has bars. You know, check us out on SoundCloud. Check us out on Bandcamp. Check us out on iTunes. Check us out on Spotify. Check us out on Amazon. Check us out on
Check us
Tidal.
out.
Check, we got so many checks. We'll make Donald Trump jealous. You know what I'm saying?
I got chests of checks. Check it. I'm getting checked, getting reckless.
like my necklace coming through Texas. I drive off in a Lexus. I'm not Jerome Bettis because I'm the bus. I'm a Pittsburgh summer stealer, wheeler and dealer like I was Ric Flair when he was at WCW. I'm bringing mad trouble to. It's WrestleMania. Come through like it was Barbarians. I'm the Tiger. Come through like the microphone, apple cider. Even though I'm not a Budweiser, I don't need to get drunk now. Told you before because I hit you with the boo bop. Pow. Yo, that was in Marvel Comics. Drop shit like Comet. Rockets blast off like a Akeem the Dream. I'm a dream even though because I wear boondocks on my jeans. You see Riley and Huey. MC don't know because I coming through like Chop Suey. Even though because that's the other dude. MCs get eat like attitude, like ravishing. I'm Rick, but my name ain't rude. Yo, it's stressing. MCs get to guessing, Midwestern. Yo, be coming in Loyola, not with Northwestern. Get your girl back at the Best Western. Who's testing?
Who's testing us? We the best of fuck. What you want? You see us? No, you can't. We's John Cena.
Face to the
We the
eyes.
best. Throw you in the trunk. Best in the world. That's CM Punk. You can check it for real. I'm sick there, coming in like woo, like I'm Ric Flair. I got a sick stare. I be booking. I capture a book. I write it down. I'm looking at you. Matter of fact, I'm looking past you. I'm in the ring, in the pasture. What I do the most, blowing smoke, bitch. I'ma throw you through the ropes. Now I'm hopping off. I'm the best, got the funk in my brain, yo, throwing out the ref, what? I'ma turn the buckle, hop off the top, and then I get you a couple times through a couple tables. Fucking announcer, I'm coming through like fuck a bouncer. I'm fucking bouncing off, yo, doing turn, what do you call those? Yo, I'm rounding, yo, I'm coming around, yo, I'm throwing you down, yo, I got the sound, yo, I'm throwing it down, yo, I got a pound, yo, I'm smoking you down, yo, I got a lot. Now I never ever stand. I got a plot. Yo, I got a whole plot. I got a whole pasture. You looking at me, I'm looking past you. You spitting, bitch, I'm spitting faster. You shitting, bitch, I'm shitting bladder. I said, check it out, I'm a Mad Hatter. I be in the Wonderland. I'm feeling like Peter Man. We be in the Peter Pan.
Like Ghost like Casper.
Like Ghost like Casper.
I rip shit off the net like Napster.
And then I flow right after.
See, that's what these things happen. We're gonna do this one more.
All right.
And then we're gonna get back to the talking.
This is the finale freestyle.
It's
the finale.
Yes, finale. Let's keep on that wrestling topic. Since it is. Yo,
it's WrestleMania weekend, bitch.
Yeah, I'm roaming like rays. MCs coming through my bloodlines in tame. Like it was Tame One. Artifacts coming back. I drop cats like Lynch Becky. MCs couldn't step to me like it was Pepsi. Or better yet, Dr. Pepper. Like Seth Rollins, I'm a hot stepper.
Hey.
I'm so freaking. Come through, I'm deacon. MCs be like heat seeking on the weekend.
Hey.
No dreaming, even it's a new day. Told you before, like atmosphere, the balls of clay.
Hey.
Yo, like Gunther, I'm not an asshole. I get shit like it was Jay Uso heat. MC's coming through because I put him to sleep. That's what I'm saying. TLC, I'm kind of creep like it was Bianca. My Bel Air comes air. I'm Sims get fly like planes in O'Hare. Yo, stop and stare. I told you before. He said on the last flow, woo like Ric Flair. Yo, got blonde hair, but yet I'm a bald head. Coming through because I get cornfred like those thick girls and like Becky. Or better yet, Haley. MC's coming through like Rich Daily. No, I'm not the mayor coming through. Twice as fair. Yo, because I'm expensive like Chicago cabs in their fare. Yo, coming through because you never playing truth or dare. Spin the bottle with Wyatt. Coming quiet like the White Six. You be dead in a wheelchair like this. Not something like that. But I try to drop as many wrestling like lines I could. That was off the top though.
When I be fighting, bitch, there be damage, G. This the Wyatt family. Hey, you saying say we dope? I'm saying check it out. This is Ruse Radio. We in the rodeo. And I'ma throw you down. I bring the smack to town. Bitch, I'ma smack you down. What? Give it to you raw. I'm just saying what I saw. I just did it like a bro. I don't foil, I don't bumble. This a Royal Rumble. This the realest. Check me. This the flashback. This the Raw after WrestleMania when the craziest shit happens. That's a clap back. You can see it now. I'ma leg it down. We got Dwayne Johnson. This bitch don't play around. I say what I job, but right now I ain't. I just say what I thought. I'm saying y'all can't play with the rock. What? I'm saying y'all can't play with the paper. I've been doing this shit, doing it right now, cause it's either right now or later.
Yeah.
Hey, and check it out, like, if you feel me, bro, I tell you, well, that's no mysterio. That's no mystery. I'm getting Eddie like it's history. You feeling me? Well, guess what? It ain't hitting, G. It ain't even happened
and
yet.
Yeah, and he can take out 2 Codys like he was Jacob Fatu.
That's a deep cut right there. Because that's actually like a reference to the CM Punk promo in AEW, right? Yeah.
Oh,
dude,
man.
I mean, like,
that's wild.
I keep up deep with the wrestling.
Yeah,
like, I haven't watched like every Raw and every SmackDown type thing, but it's unhealthy the amount of time I sink into that stuff.
Okay.
As you can see, I mean, that was. Your references were fantastically strung together, I must say, dude.
That was nice.
It is WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, it is.
Did you see what happened?
I watched it.
Sunday?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I was over at my friend Jasmine Cross. She like goes to all of our shows, and she's a dope ass photographer. I was at her crib. She invited me over to her crib. We was watching the first half of the first Saturday WrestleMania. We watched that. I watched that yesterday.
Yeah, because I mean, like, so the whole, at least where we're at right now, John Cena, Cody Rhodes hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
Day 2 hasn't happened yet.
That'll be later on today.
But
today.
that whole Paul Heyman double cross.
Yeah, that was wild. That was crazy work. No one. I didn't expect that.
I saw one person predict it in the YouTube comment.
A lot of the cats that was over there. I was over at her house, at Jasmine's house yesterday. They're like big time wrestling guys. We was talking about some old school WWE. Like, it wasn't even WWE, it was WWF.
Yeah.
We was talking about that. Like 3 of the cats had predicted that that Heyman was gonna do that. I didn't see that coming though. I knew about I thought maybe he would help Roman out, but I ain't expect him to do the double cross.
Yeah,
he did the double.
The second one got
he did the double deucey on you.
Like when he turned on CM Punk, I was like, okay, I mean that makes sense.
Yeah.
But when he turned on Roman,
like,
I
was like, wow, exactly.
What?
Exactly. But then it was like a lot of people were saying, like a lot of cats over at the spot was saying, like, cats should have saw that because he had did the 2 favors for Roman and for Punk, but he didn't do that. But it was something that he didn't do for Rollins. They were thinking that, and that was the one that he had flipped with Rollins.
But would he owe Rollins anything?
I don't know. That's why it's like it's gonna draw out to see what happens.
I think what Heyman's gonna come out and say is that Rollins was the obvious choice. Like I think that's how he's gonna explain it. Is like he's just like a snake and he's behind the scenes and he decided that Rollins was the obvious future of the company and it's not gonna be Punk. It's not gonna be Roman. They're done for. I do like that Rollins is turning heel. I think that's cool. I think Rollins as a heel. I just find him to be unlikable.
He is. But even as a face, he's unlikable. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So he should have been a heel. He should have been on a heel turn a minute ago.
I just get mad at him. I see what he's wearing. I'm like, this fucking guy looks like he's dressed like literally he's got cow on. He looks like a cow.
I am a revolutionary. I am a visionary. I'm Seth freaking Rollins. It's like, then that song and shit, man. He's just like that.
The whole Joker thing?
Yeah. Man, why you man? And then he like had me dressed like this cat be dressed like he thinks he's Elton John and shit. What you doing, bro?
Exactly, dude. I just don't get it. I mean, maybe it's like I'm lame and I don't get it, and it's like a new thing.
Lame. That's lame.
That's what I think.
Shit is lame.
That's what I think. But and then, you know what? With CM Punk, like someone like him, what I always try to explain to people, like, for like if they don't like understand wrestling, I think CM Punk's like a good entry point to understand like what's great about it, because like he's one of those people that like knows how to draw the line between like it's kind of like it's like being real, but also we all know it's not real, but still he makes it feel so real that you actually do believe it. Like even though you know it's fake, or scripted or whatever you want to call it, you know the reality is real within what he's doing.
It's
and like
authentic. It's authentic.
And I think like the one of the most iconic wrestling moments is when Stone Cold became Stone Cold. After King of the Ring.
We was talking about that yesterday when I was over at the house. The fellas was talking about that one being one of the definitive moments within the Attitude Era.
It was kind of like the first ever pipe bomb.
Exactly.
I think Rowdy Piper had one of those too, where he like kind of went off the rails.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like those things I think are like what wrestling is truly all about. Is capturing stuff like that.
It's capturing the moments. Like being able to capture moments is very important.
Yeah,
very important. Being able, you just have to like leave that camera running. You don't even turn that camera off. Just let that motherfucker run, man. You're seeing some history right now.
Yeah.
So man.
I remember when Brock Lesnar and the Undertaker happened. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember where I was. I just remember thinking, no.
He's like, well.
I talked to somebody who was there. I can't remember who it was, but they told me they were there for that WrestleMania.
Oh shit.
And like when it happened, everybody in the room was like that. They were like, no, this can't be real. And then it appears on the screen over there in the corner, 21-1. Like it pops up.
Oh yeah, the street.
And that's when you got that guy going like that.
Yeah, the cat was like, like in total shock and disbelief. Yeah.
In my mind, it's just it's just they didn't need to give it to Brock. That's what hurts about it. They could have given it to like up and coming talent.
Yeah, up and coming.
They gave it to Brock Lesnar.
Brock,
He didn't need it. And then Brock loses against Goldberg in a squash match like 2 years later. Like why? What is this all for?
What's going on?
I just don't. But like the Undertaker streak was one of the most real things going in wrestling.
Right, exactly.
No one thought it was going to end.
No one thought. No one.
It's hard to understand now that it's been over.
Yeah, exactly.
But when that was happening, it's like you know he's going to be at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You know he's going to win.
He's going to win. Yeah. It's setting you up for the future. For the future. Big match.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels. That was crazy.
It's showing you for the big play. So
him versus Shawn Michaels. Him versus Edge. If him versus John Cena would have happened before the streak ended, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
It was after the streak ended, and that was what's a bummer about that. They finally did Undertaker versus John Cena after the streak.
After the streak was over.
Because if it was the streak, it's like, holy shit, it's Cena versus Taker. Like, Cena could win, you know? Yeah. I would actually believe it if Cena... Yeah. I mean, that's what people criticize Cena for the most. That's why it's so entertaining watching him be a heel now.
Heel now.
He's like shitting on everybody for the Super Cena thing.
Yeah, for the shit that he was doing before.
Because I didn't think that's why he's doing the same like CM Punk thing, right?
Yeah, exactly,
where it's like that's real. The fans really were like that.
Were like that. Yeah.
Now he's a legend, but like 10 years ago,
everybody was
talking shit.
Yeah, they was doing all that. Yeah. Cats was sick of his ass.
They're like, you ain't Hulk Hogan, bitch.
You like 10 years ago, like you would predict how this shit would end with Cena winning a match. It was like this shit's getting like super lame now.
Even when I remember when he buried Wade Barrett, that was a huge thing. He threw him like 20 million chairs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was at TLC, and I remember he pulled the chairs down. And there was a bunch of chairs hanging, and he got buried under chairs. He literally buried him. He literally buried Wade Barrett. Wow. And Wade Barrett never recovered from the whole Nexus thing. Like that was kind of Wade Barrett's legacy.
Yeah, that was the thing. After Lexus, that Nexus
I think it was the core.
That Nexus was going, and then it was it's a wrap for you, buddy.
Now I mean, good for him. He's still on commentary. I actually have a vision. Like, if I were to do wrestling, I would not want to wrestle, but I would love to be like a manager, or a commentator, like something. Dude, I could kill if I was a manager. I would do fucking so good. I know I would.
Yeah, man.
I would find a way. You know?
Of course.
I'd become like the Paul Heyman. Yeah, you know? I'd find a way. Wrestling is like it's one of those things again where there's an art to it. You know? There's an actual art to what you're doing. You know.
Yeah, definitely gotta have an art to that. Definitely.
Yeah, like the best promos are the best for a reason.
Exactly.
You know, there's something they're doing right there. the Scott Steiner math promo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One of the greatest promos ever.
Exactly.
What is the guy who had the worst debut? Was it the Shockmaster? I think I just finally remembered. The person who came through the wall. You ever see that? It was like, it's known as one of the worst WWE debuts of all time, or WWF. But it was like he was hyped up as this character, and then he comes through the wall, and he like stumbles through the wall and falls over, and like it was really embarrassing. It was the worst way you could have debuted the character. And then, like, you can hear the person off because it's not the guy in the costume that's doing the voice, it's somebody else.
Hey.
And so you hear them laughing as he falls over and shit.
I don't know that guy, but hey, I'm pretty sure now there are going to be wrestling fans that are going to be watching this podcast because that's what they need to do.
Yeah.
And so if you can name that wrestler,
I think it's Shockmaster.
If it's Shockmaster, well, actually, we might Google it up.
I'm gonna Google it right now because I've been trying to remember that for weeks, dude.
That's what we do now. We don't have to. I'll be like, hey, let's ask the fans out there in fandom. But but now you could.
I got it.
You can.
It was right.
You could do that. See, he was right.
I was right.
That? He knew it.
I'm actually really proud because I swear to you, I remembered that like 2 weeks ago. I was like, what was that guy's name? Because I was talking to somebody else on the podcast about wrestling. I think it was Tim Brennan is his name.
Tim
I was talking to him. Right. And we got into wrestling. We were talking about it for like an hour. And I wanted to bring up Shockmaster, but I couldn't remember what his name was. So I was like, it would just be me asking him what his name was. And I just remembered Shockmaster. You gotta look. You gotta see Shockmaster.
I'll check.
Worst debut ever.
I have to check that. I'll check out the intro.
There's some bad gimmicks that they've had throughout the years. When fucking Bray Wyatt was Husky Harris for a minute. That was a thing. What's another terrible one? They were gonna. I remember. What was his name? Brodus Clay. He was gonna be like, he was getting hyped up as this monster. Okay. He's gonna be like this monster hero, and he's gonna fuck everybody up. And it's like, oh, this is cool. Right. And then when he debuts, he was like the disco guy. You remember that? He comes out and he's like dancing, and it's disco, and he's got the Funk Sisters with him. And he's like dancing, and he's got a whole dance. And it's like he was hyped up as this heel. And then Lord Tensai, if you remember him, he ends up joining Brodus Clay, and they both become like a disco joke character.
I remember that Brodus Clay, and then they had the other guy. I remember.
It was they totally killed whatever momentum those people had with that. Like, I don't know why they do this. I mean, I think it's all Vince McMahon. I think that's actually a Vince thing.
That was Vince thing.
Vince has a form of torture.
Now it's with Triple H running it now. It
really is different.
It's different. Yeah,
it's a lot different. There's things I could still say there's things I could still complain about, but you can complain about anything. I think it's a lot better overall as a product than it has been in a long time.
Exactly.
Like, especially, I just wish they would focus more beyond WrestleMania. That's kind of something that it's always been a constant thing with WWE. It's like you can tell they really invest in WrestleMania. There's kind of a big thing with SummerSlam, but really it's WrestleMania. Like, that's when The Rock returns and turns heel. That's when John Cena turns heel. That's when we have these big moments. But throughout the rest of the year, it's just kind of easy and cruising. I wish it was kind of like WrestleMania all year, where they kept that. That's what made like wrestling's best, like the Attitude Era. Constantly trying to do that.
Every like the Raws are like the I guess what the what was it? Was it the Nitro? Was it
Monday Nitro? Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, Monday Night Wars, Monday Nitro. That's why the Monday Nitros was just as good as their pay-per-views at that time, or just like or like saying with WWE, like the Monday Night Raw would be just as good as say Survivor Series or Rumble or something. It would just be able to rank kind of up within there, during that time.
It's kind of a bummer that AEW didn't turn out to be what it was at first. Because AEW, when it first came around, was like, we're going to be legitimate competition to WWE.
Exactly.
And there was so many big names that moved into it that it really looked like that was going to happen. It reminded you of TNA, like when it was, this is happening again, we can do this.
We can do this right there.
And that's how WWE gets better, is through competition. But there's really it's a monopoly. There's no real competition.
There is no real competition.
I mean, AEW is just kind of like a blip on the radar. If you were to really compare the two, sure, AEW has a lot of fans, but they can't fill up arenas. Like WWE.
It's not filling out like like where WrestleMania is now, Alliance
60,000.
Stadium.
It's like 60,000.
Alliance Stadium in Las Vegas. They're not doing shit like that.
Yeah, they just can't. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, they have done things like that. I think when they went to England, was it what's that big giant ass stadium in England?
Wembley Stadium.
Yes.
Yeah, Wembley.
They went to Wembley Stadium, and I think they performed there, and that was like it was actually marketed as the biggest wrestling crowd of all time. So they actually did do that.
Oh yeah.
CM Punk was there. That was actually CM Punk's last match in AEW. Funny enough, because that was right around that whole incident. It was that day. It was when all that stuff went down with Jack Perry. If you've heard that story, all the CM Punk drama with AEW.
Yeah.
But again, like that illustrates the kind of things that go wrong with AEW. Like, I don't think they have the leadership that it takes. You need like a Vince McMahon, a Triple H.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people say. Like the leadership there is like
they let the wrestlers just kind of do. But like that's the whole mentality.
But that's kind of like what fell with Monday Nitro with WCW. That's how their shit kind of fell, because like they was beating Raw at one time, but then their shit started falling off. And then you had like Nash and Hogan and them booking the shows and setting it up to where it's all leveled out for NWO, and then the WCW guys are like, what the fuck, and then this shit started getting, they tried to level it out again, but then shit just was hella corny by
I feel bad for
I think what it was, they left that NWO thing lasted, I think, a lot longer than they should have. They shouldn't have. They let it run that too long. But that was the only thing that really, though, that was the only thing. That's what kept them up there. They had to keep that there, because that was when people was going into, when you had to decide, am I going to watch Raw or I'm going to watch Nitro? You're going to watch Nitro because like I was big on the NWO at that time, so I was like watching it because I just fucked with the NWO. It wasn't really any of the rest of the WC. I mean,
that's why The Rock comes
back
around.
Four Horsemen or whatever. I wasn't really rocking with the Four Horsemen or nothing like that. I mean, I like Flair, but I wasn't really rocking with the Four Horsemen like that. So it was like, or anybody else. So it was because of NWO.
Yeah.
So I mean. But like when you let that rode out too long. But see, with WWE, they have so many little intricate pockets of where they got talent in other spots to where it doesn't get old. They don't have to roll that gimmick like that for so long. They got they didn't really have that. So like if it wasn't no NWO up on there, ain't motherfucker ain't watching that. That's how that was. It was like that.
I was gonna say, I feel bad for like the stars who went to AEW.
Yeah.
Because like it didn't turn out to be that.
Right.
Like there's people who are just kind of stuck there because of the way they've either like got sucked into that mentality, and it's probably hard to see outside of that. Because I really think if you're just gonna objectively look at it, like it's just not the same game you're playing. AEW is a different thing. Like it's a different thing. I heard somebody describe it in a really funny. It was a comedian. I think it was Ryan Raymond. He said like the same way that like Joe Rogan went to Austin, and all like the comedians who say the worst things ever also go follow him to Austin, which is just a funny thing to say. That's the same thing that happened when AEW existed. All those toxic wrestling fans went to AEW, and so you actually have a spot for most of them. Like the people who want to see the wrestlers break each other's backs and almost break their necks and shit. They just want to see the most violent things, which is fine if that's what you like, but that's not what WWE does.
Right,
that's not what they've ever done.
I mean, WWE is going to always try to have that kid-friendly vibe.
Not even necessarily that, but like at least it's story-driven, because they've done a lot of they've had a lot of non-PG moments. You could say that.
Yeah, they have. No, I know.
Edge and Lita with their live sex celebration.
A few of them. Vince
Vince saying the N-word.
Yeah.
John Cena.
That's
like 2005.
That was crazy work right there. And then you had Booker T's reaction you know, like at the end of that shit, like like looking.
We coming for you.
Yeah, we coming for you. You know, the sister Sherry, like that's I watch.
What's so funny is his immediate face palm.
That shit's funny. That shit's funny. So funny. That shit's hilarious. But then also I was saying,
coming for you, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, we coming for you, Nick. What you got here is not just a clique, it's a family.
He was in the pocket, dude. Like, he was in the moment.
And then like, cause it's funny because after he said it, he you see it in his face is like Sherry's all trying to pat him on the back and like nah, bruh, you messed that up, G. And
that's why we have 10-second delays. That's why those exist.
Delays, exactly.
And that was back in the day when that didn't exist.
But was it also that one crazy scene where it was Stacey Hancock doing the little sexy dance with he had his desk in the ring.
The whole Kiss My Ass Club is what just popped in my mind, but continue.
It was Keebler. It was Stacey Keebler doing all that little showing on them nice long ass legs and shit.
I mean the whole women's division's changed a lot.
But he had Stephanie that one time on SmackDown when she was like I guess they were promoting Mr. America and they showed it. They did a zoom in on her. She had them shiny ass legs and nice ass too. I'm not.
Vince is like
Paul. Now, Paul, I ain't trying to. I don't want no smoke, Paul. I don't want no smoke, Paul. Triple H. Yeah, I ain't gonna want no smoke. But she did have, it was nice, bro. It was nice. So there was that segment, and that's when they were pushing that Mr. America, which we know was Hulk Hogan, but that was when they was pushing Mr. America. But she had her bent over on the desk and. She said, do I got your attention now? I was like, yeah, you got a lot of boys' attention now. Trust me. You got a lot of fellas' attention with that one, sister.
Who's the girl who's dating Dominic Mysterio? I'm forgetting her name.
Liv.
Morgan.
Yeah, Liv's nice.
She's kind of doing the same thing, right?
Liv nice.
She plays into that, though. That's what I'm saying.
Liv
she
nice.
definitely plays into that.
I ain't gonna hold you.
I would even say that
I'm not gonna hold you.
Rhea Ripley does that a lot, too. I think Rhea Ripley, there was like a clip of her at a house show where she's just pulling up her tights and showing her whole ass.
They know what they doing.
They know what they're doing.
They know exactly
what I'm saying is that that's kind of what they were doing all the time back in the 2000s. They were kind of it wasn't like it's not like
they was pushing it.
In my mind, that's female empowerment if you do it the right way.
Yeah,
you're actually the girls want to do that. They like doing that. Like it makes them feel hot. You know, they want to do that. But that's like the thing. I think when you do it too much, it gets a little weird. I think back in the day, they were kind of, they were calling them divas. They were kind of over-sexualizing the whole thing. I think there's a balance to it because they really are talented.
They're great. No, they're.
But if you only focus on check out how hot they are, eventually that just becomes.
But that's the draw. The draw is that
you're right.
They have
sex sells.
Sex sells, but then they're skilled. Look, you had ones Trish Stratus and and they Mickey James and all them and Jacqueline. Even to now with Bianca, and Naomi and and Jay Cargill.
Well, just the way
they're attractive women, and they can get down with you too. So it's like that's that find that balance. I think it was in the earlier where it was like when it was like say with I'm not gonna call I don't call her Sasha Banks because she's not Sasha Banks somewhere. I think Mercedes now. She's Mercedes now. I can't think of the last name, but like Mercedes, Becky Lynch, and where you have Bailey, where you have the looks there, and you have the wrestling ability too.
Yeah.
But you also can sell it too. You can sell it. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think in the end, that's the best thing you could ever do, right? It's all about how you sell whatever the story is. I think there's certain female wrestlers who stick out for the same reasons that certain male wrestlers stick out. One person who's interesting is AJ. Or is it AJ Lee?
AJ Lee, yeah.
Because she's you can tell so much of CM Punk has rubbed off on her. The way that she's cut promos throughout the years.
Like it's the same type of thing that she does, and she's actually like a pioneer within like the women's division. If you like track it down in history, it was right around 2010, 2012 when like it really started to change and open up, and it was people like her who did that. I think who else came around that time? Was it I think another person who you'd have to say helped a lot was she came from the MMA. What the fuck is her name?
Ronda Rousey. Yeah,
Rousey. Her coming around did a lot.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing about with Ronda too. Ronda, I mean, a lot of people, I just knew of her from her fire blood, but but she's not like when she got into WWE, you started seeing a little different side of where she.
It's kind of how Logan Paul is.
So you actually Ronda's not a bad looking woman,
Yeah.
So,
you mean like in terms of attraction?
You're attractive, but you didn't think that at first, because you just saw it was for the like real quick, tap you up real quick when you fall, but she started showing more of a broader span of her,
Yeah.
That's cool, it's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna see what else is there. What else is there that you we could flip on and talk about?
Well, for sure. At least before you get out of here, I do want to with whatever song we're gonna make here. Like, if we're gonna make a song at some point, you know, do you have like a song sitting around you want me on, or am I gonna find something?
Actually, what I could do. Well, this is what I could do. This is one thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have you. My friend D Fitz and me, I'm gonna put you on the Cannabis Days remix.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we got the beat is already at the studio, kind of just ready to record. So I got my verse already written. I'll see what's up with Fitz, and then you can write your verse there too, and then we can see what we got.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
If that's what it is, dude, is this the remix?
Yeah, it's a remix.
It's a weed song?
Yeah. Cannabis Days is one of the songs on the new album right now that just dropped.
All right.
Cannabis Days. We're going to shoot a video for that around June or July, too.
And that's a perfect song for the festival.
Yeah.
You're going to be performing where?
I'm going to be performing at the Cure Michigan Cup out in it's on Big Farms in Jones, Michigan.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we was out there last year. And we got on the strength of our homie Chauncey the Thriller. And we got on the strength of him, and he got us out there, and we did one of our songs off the Once Again album. Me and Brother Tone off that album because all our stuff is on iTunes and Spotify. You can get all this stuff. We're on all major streaming platforms. But we did a song called Catch the Wave off the Once Again album on Chauncey's set, and then they were like, well, hey, can you guys come back and get your own set? I was like, yeah, we'll give them contact, talk, see what's up. I've messaged them 2 times, but usually they don't hit you back up to about, say, May, June, July maybe. So, but like so we should be on that ticket. We'll be on that ticket, ready to rock.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I'm not dozing off. I just closed my eyes. I had to get my thought in. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all motherfuckers thinking.
Sometimes when I'm talking, I'll look over here, and one time I think it was Jim Balderson was the guest, and he kept looking over there. He thought like I had another camera. I would always look over there.
He thought some espionage, like some I spies going on around here, huh?
Yeah. But then it made me think, like, wouldn't it be funny?
Oh shit. Jizzo, I'm in the middle of a podcast right now, B.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm doing a podcast. Well, so...
Tell that guy to subscribe to Ruse Radio.
Yeah, you can just... You know what? Yeah, subscribe to Ruse Radio, but you can also talk about the Cypher while you're on the podcast.
Yeah, put him up right up to the microphone.
Right, yeah. You tell him about the City Cypher, Jizzo.
Oh, word. Well, first, my bad for interrupting, man, and my bad for not already being tuned in with you, brother. Man, shout out to them, bro, for, for interviewing the man Levi Stress, because that dude is one of the biggest hustlers, grinders out here in Chicago music. And he's also part of the City Cypher team. And, man, it's just a blessing, man. Anybody that's listening to this, if y'all want to check out some dope ciphers, some dope hip-hop shit, man, Y'all just go on YouTube and type in City Cypher. We're the longest running hip hop cipher series shit in the Midwest. So, man, much love to y'all. I appreciate you, Levi.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, like, we've been doing this, man. We've been doing this. This is
2 hours.
This is 2 hours. This is 2 hours of just the fire.
Nice.
Yeah,
Check
we.
the page. I'm gonna go watch the rest, whatever I can catch the rest of it right now.
Well, no, it's not gonna. But see, this is the thing. It's not gonna be up right now. We're doing it, and you gotta give it a month from right now. Then it'll be up.
But you gotta subscribe so you see.
But you gotta subscribe though. But you gotta subscribe though. Yeah, subscribe. You gotta subscribe. I'm not trying to cut them off or nothing, but I ain't trying to cut off Jizzle off, man. You gotta, so like he was saying, man. Subscribe to the City Cipher. Like I said, this man that's on the phone right now. This is his brainchild. So you gotta show love and give love, and like I said, you will be seeing many other artists from our crew being up on this podcast because they do know now. So you will see us in the near future or them in the near future. But that's it. Like, now it is what it is with that. So,
Now it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So
And it ain't what it ain't.
it ain't what it ain't. And also, we might be performing tonight at Sub T on the second floor for a jam session. If you want to come out to that, we're going to be doing that. It stands an hour joint. It stands.
Okay,
Jizzle,
better.
yeah.
Just tap in with me when you're done with that, bro. Much love to the whole show, to the host, to all the
Yes,
guys.
yeah. His name is Wyatt. Say,
Ruse.
shout out Ruse.
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 R-U-S-E. Ruse.
Ruse. I'm sorry. I'm giving out government names. I need to stop doing that.
Shout out to y'all, brother.
Yeah.
All
All right.
Tap in with me when you out of there, bro.
Yeah. All right. Later, bro.
All right, peace.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Ruse. That's Jizzle. That's the founder of the City Cypher. What I'm wearing right now. That he's the founder of what I'm wearing of this.
The longest running, he said.
Yeah, the longest running established company, established ciphers in the Midwest, 10 years
they do
strong.
like full ciphers.
That's when you met me. I was telling you about that. That's the guy. See, that's who. See, that's when they call you in the middle of your interview. That's when you know you're important. That's why you can step in here like George Jetson, because you can jump out your spaceship and be like, "Hey guys, I'm here." If they call me, then I'll tell Millicent to take that call. Millicent, take that call for me. I'm in the middle of a dinner right now.
Isn't that the goal? Have a Millicent?
Yeah, Millicent. I want a Millicent or Dorothy, or better yet, a Liv.
I want 7 dwarves.
Yeah, 7 dwarves. Yeah, I want an 8th dwarf.
Really?
Yeah,
Now you're getting greedy.
No, I can do that because hey, it's my world. I can do that if I want to. It's my world, dude. But shout out to Ruse Radio. And
Shout out to Shy City Cypher.
Yeah, shout out to the Shy City Cypher, man. I've been getting messages like, man, don't you hate when you be like talking and you be like, especially doing an interview or something, and cats be just ding you up like it's like you a bellhop or something.
Right.
Like why are you dinging me up? I'm doing it in the middle of an interview.
Exactly. You gotta send out a mass text to everybody. No messages for 2 hours.
Exactly.
I'm doing official business.
Yeah, I'm business.
All business.
Business kids. We're all business around here, Jax.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you're right, though, right? It means you're popular. It means you're important.
Yeah, you're doing something right. I guess you are doing something right with that.
If people are messaging you.
Yeah.
You open it, it's just all memes. It's all just people
it's
sending
like
memes.
people just sending beams, like you scoundrels, you scoundrel, you meme scoundrel, you. When I get my hands on you, I'm gonna rip you from shred to shred.
I'm really lucky people started sending me memes because as soon as I met comedians and I got them to I think my Instagram figured me out really quick.
Okay.
I don't know how it happened, but TikTok will just show me nonsense. Instagram will show me what I want to see.
Yeah,
It figured me out.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. It just
a bunch of
gets
ads.
me. Yeah. Well, I mean, TikTok's just weird, dude. I'll hate something. I'll see the same sound that I hate, and I'll try to scroll past it as fast as possible to like let them know I don't want to see this. And they keep showing me.
And they'll keep saying, yeah, because I think they're tagging you. That's what I think. That's they be tagging people. You untag yourself, but I think you have to block them, because if you don't block them, they just gonna tag you in it. Like
I mean, when I'm scrolling,
4 or 5. Oh, when you're scrolling,
like I'll just see shit. Like it'll be like a trending sound, and it'll be like a sound that goes, ooh la la, it's something so stupid.
like Wavo, fruit drink.
And it's like a 14-year-old girl doing that with her brother. And I'm like, why the fuck are you showing me this?
Yeah, I don't want to see this. What do you think?
And then it's like a 27-year-old doing it with her mom, and then it's like Drake doing it with some celebrity, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck am I seeing?
Like, well, I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm not Harvey Weinstein. What the fuck, dude?
But that's like TikTok, and Instagram just shows me like the dumbest shit, dude, and I love it. Man. Instagram shows me just dumb shit that makes me laugh. Whereas, like, Instagram will show me rap. Right. Instagram will show me more rap. You know what? That is one thing I do like on TikTok. It has helped me find some rappers. That actually has helped me.
I mean, sometimes, like I said, all these. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like all of us, are found through the internet some kind of way. There's people that found me on the internet.
You ever think about that, dude? Like,
found me on
the millions of different ways people could find out about you. Like the millions of ways. Like you never really know what's the first song of yours that somebody heard. Like for me, the first time I ever saw you was that one night at the Glenwood. That's my entry point into the story of Levi Stress. You know,
exactly.
It's just interesting to me how that, because you think. In your mind, you've met you a million times. You spend all your time with you. So like the idea of people finding out about you now, like it just means you're being famous. Like you've done a million things, but then you do another thing and you get twice as famous.
Right, exactly.
Like Kendrick's career has like evolved over and over and over again over time. Right. And that whole Drake beef, however you feel about it, it did make Kendrick way more famous again. Just like Good Kid, Mad City made him super famous.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, you get into a squabble, like, the biggest pop star in like the world. I mean, that's gonna help you out. I mean, that's what I said. That's why I I'm like really talking about too much, because it's everyone's shit happened with that song, but everyone gained. It was like, and then it's like, Cat wants to sue over like shit like that. These are, I mean, like I say, if you talk about suing, I mean. You ever seen these battle rappers, these guys like Murda Mook and T-Rex and Loaded Lux and Rum Nitty and all them dudes, Danny Myers and stuff. It's gonna be way worse than that. With those cats, they chopping your head up. They trying to dissect you and put you in a meat cleaver and a chopper, and you ain't never coming back. Hollow the Don, Ill Will, all those guys like that. Geechi Gotti, just to name a few, that's just a few of them, they coming for blood. Tay Roc, how am I gonna forget Tay Roc? Them guys coming for blood. They not playing no game. Chest, all them, they're like I said, so you think that's just a little light tap, Drake, compared to what and it's even, which makes it even worse, because he came from that battle rap shit. He was sponsoring a lot of those guys rap battles up in Canada, in Toronto. Yeah. So he's like, so Drake, you know what it is. I want to sue for a rap battle. Yeah, Karen, the Karen of hip hop, Karen ass motherfucker.
I just feel like it's probably a multi-layered thing. Like I don't like Drake, so I'm inclined to think that I just don't agree with it. But I think there probably is a truth to the fact that there is botting and streaming. Kendrick he's probably not up to Kendrick, but there's probably people who bot his streams. Just like how there's bots in the WWE comments on YouTube that are so obviously bots. Just like there's bots on anything that you see that's political.
Right, of course.
There's bots everywhere.
Of course,
so I think when Drake sues him, it's just kind of silly because it's there's no way Drake does not have botted streams.
All these guys' numbers are inflated, and it'd be their own people that be inflating their numbers.
Yeah.
Man. a lot of these
That's
cats
part
are,
of the
like
business
this
partnership.
Spotify month, like you have like 90 million listeners on Spotify. It's like, come on, bro. That's all. That shit's bought, man.
Right.
That's bought up stuff, man. I was watching something and it was some YouTube video and the guy said everybody has inflated numbers. He's like everyone's numbers are inflated. No one is no organic. Everyone's their numbers are being inflated like an inner tube. Oh man, that's now a major part of business now with it. So it's like it's crazy. It's crazy work, yo. It's crazy work.
It's hard out here for a pimp, man.
Yeah, hard out here for a pimp and player. From the Himalayas.
At the end of the show, what we always try and do, okay, is you got two things. You got two things you can do here. One, you send them home with the message. You give them something, the kids at home, to think about. Something, some information from your noggin, some wise wisdom from your brain. But second, most importantly, you let them know where they can find you, where they can find your art, the stuff you create. Okay. They just listened to you for this long. They might as well check out what you're really doing.
Well, I'm going to say words of wisdom, my words of wisdom is for like, try to be better than you was the day before. Like I said, and every day, try to be better than you was the day before, because that's where you'll start seeing improvement within yourself. I did good that day, but I'm going to do a little bit better the next day. Then the next day comes, and after that next day goes, I'm going to do a little bit better than that next day. Then vice versa as it goes on. Then you'll start to see the self-improvement within yourself, because you're pushing yourself to be better every day. And you only get one life, so in life we try to strive to be our best every day. So that's my advice I give to the youngsters out there, young, old, children, animals, cats, dogs. That's my advice I give to y'all. And secondly, LeviStress.com is my handle for just my personal website. StylesManifest.bandcamp.com is where you have all of the artists that put music down in our collective. Me personally, I have the most records in the catalog. We got 11 albums, so we're pretty thick. Like I said, we should be getting that expanded later as the year goes on. But for right now, we have 11. Please check all that music out. If you want to buy that music, we would be happy for you to buy that and purchase that as well. Especially right now with this new album, my new album, Brink of Insanity, that just dropped at 12 o'clock. Yesterday, or this morning, not 12 o'clock now, but 12 o'clock when they were starting, it's that. So,
that's when Cinderella left the ball.
Yeah, and when Cinderella left the ball. Since Cinderella left the ball, listen to my record. See, y'all didn't know that. But you do now, though. Hey. But yeah, go ahead and cop that at stylesmanifest.bandcamp.com, and it's also now out on Spotify. iTunes probably come out tomorrow on iTunes, but yeah, and YouTube as well too. But yeah, go cop that. Go check out the rest of the albums on Styles Manifest, and hey, that's about it. And also too, IG at Levi Mall 68. That's my IG. If you wanna check out some of my shenanigans on there and do that too. But that's it, really. Oh yeah, no, that's not it. Like the Stands of the Hour. That's my group. Like our Facebook page, and or follow the Levi Stress Facebook page. There's like 2 or 3 of them, so you can follow all 3 of them. That's it. Now I'm done.
Shy City Cypher.
And Shy City Cypher too. Shout out to Shy City Cypher. You know what I'm saying? We just dropped volume 38 is out now.
Shout out Jizzy Jeff.
Jizzo. Jizzy Jeffrey. See, this is what we just did. He had to tell me his name. Then he said that, and I had to tell that man his name. So that's how it's a name game exchange going on around here. So yeah,
so it's 2 rappers.
Exactly. So Jizzo is also in the team. The team consists of Jizzo, Loke, Fatal, and Noodles and myself. So go ahead and subscribe to that City Cypher page. Longest running cipher in the Midwest, 10 years. We have 38 volumes, so you can go from the beginning. You can do.
That's a thick catalog.
You can from the first cipher to the 38. You can binge out. You can do a weekend binge with the ciphers if you want to. If you want to, you can do that. It's that much material. So please check that out. And then I think that's it for me.
Hell yeah, man.
Good.
It's been a fantastic episode. I think, how does Easter work? Did Jesus die today? Is that what it was?
Yes, he did.
So Jesus died today. He died for our sins.
Yes, he did.
You know, gotta shout out Jesus at the end of Easter.
Big up to Jesus. Big up to JC.
Yeah. Shout out Hitler. Hitler's birthday is 420, if you didn't know. Did you know that?
Oh, I'm not shouting out Hitler, but it's 420, though.
Did you know that?
I ain't know
His
that,
birthday's
but I ain't
420.
shouting out no Hitler, Joe. We ain't shouting.
That's quite the combo. Shout out Hitler, shout out Jesus.
Nah, brother. I'm not shouting. Nah, I'm shouting out Jesus Christ. I'm not throwing Hitler in there.
All right, no shout out for you,
I'm
Hitler.
not trying to get striked out with no lightning. Fuck out of here. I ain't trying to walk like the motherfuckers, man.
We're not trying to be Kanye now.
Yeah, man. You guys are walking like a motherfucking like you like a Hinsdale chicken out here. Like fuck that. Like buttermilk or whatever. Fuck out
You know
of
what?
here.
Shout out Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, Jay.
Some 420 icons.
Okay, there you go. That's more like
Shout
it.
out,
Fuck
who
that
else do
Hitler
we got?
shit.
Cheech and Chong. Shout out
See,
Cheech and Chong.
See, we should have been
Snoop
shouting.
Dogg.
See, that's the 420 vibe we need to be shouting out. Hitler's not that 420. You're not in that class, buddy. Nah,
I just
you ain't
remember
in the
learning
class
that when
of
I was 10.
420.
Like 420
That's
is...
we just did the class of 420. Hitler, your ass ain't in that. Get the fuck out, B.
He was kicked out. He did not graduate high school.
You ain't past that. You ain't past none of that. We had to expel your bitch ass. Yeah.
And with that being said, folks, with Hitler being expelled, Ruse Radio. Clocking out.
Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the character that's calm and collect. It's apparent his caricature is lost.